here we go. And I'm live. I am live because it always makes me live a couple seconds before. That's how it works, guys. How you doing? How you doing, guys? It's been a while. Maybe not too long, but it's been a while. I'm working on a script right now, but I'm taking a break to stream because I don't feel like I want to record it right now. I'm actually working on 2 scripts, maybe 3, but 2 definitely. So I'm doing one at the moment, which will be a video tomorrow, and another one after that, and then maybe I'll get the 3rd one done, maybe a 4th one, and yeah, we'll see what happens after that. But I want to see how the lads are doing right now. Oh, how are you? How are the lads doing? How are you doing, guys? Make yourselves known in the chat. We need to wait for people. I need my people. I need my people to welcome me and give me that acknowledgement. You know. Oh, things are doing well. Things are doing very, very well. In real life, things could be changing, maybe, potentially, which could impact the channel's content. Not quality, but quantity. But that's if what I want happens. Basically job changing, but I can't say anything more than that. But if I end up getting more hours, that's going to impact how much I can make. So if you want more content, you know where to donate. No, I'm joking. But this next video that I'm doing, it's going to be a lot of clips in it because God, I really do need to do an awful lot of watching stuff and use these clips to show how much of an idiot this guy is and how much of a liar he is. And it's to do with the whole Warrington issue with the milkshakes. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. The guy's a liar. He's an activist. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he was lying about a lot of things as well. Like, oh, I was the only Asian person there. Oh, I'm like, well, you know, I've been in places like that, and nobody really cared about what I look like. But hey, whatever, you know. He has to lie about these things, and he has to make it out like just walking 5 meters from these people is some kind of life-threatening situation, even though the only people that were being life-threatening and violent and horrible were his lot. You know, not the Tommy fans, but whatever. What do I know? I'm just a pleb on the internet, right? And then there was Doc's video came out today, and that was really good about knowing better. It's ironic, isn't it, how he wants you to know better, but recently his content has nosedived, and now he wants you to know less. Or not know less, but know worse. Really, he should change his name to Knowing Worse, because all he ever does nowadays is just peddle lies and bullshit. That's not Doc, by the way, that's the YouTuber, Knowing Better. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Yes, it does. Well, maybe for you, Eve. Maybe for you. Whatever floats your boat. But yeah, so many people who can and know and should do better peddle the lies, damn it. And it's just... it's depressing, man. When you see someone like him who can do a video on Chris Columbus and Gandhi and be completely fair and balanced, but when it comes to his own political ideology, he'd rather you be brainwashed into it. He'd rather peddle you some snake oil than be totally honest about it. Because the way he was going about it was, you know, it's like the chaos gods. They give you the truth. There is this one side of truth, but they neglect to tell you the rest of it. They don't give it you in context. They don't lie. They just get to give you the version of the truth that is only half true, and they say that is the whole truth when it is not. It's not lying, it's just disingenuous. Obfuscation? I can't even say it. You know what I mean. Obfuscation, I think, right? Obfuscate. I don't know. But like, yeah, it really annoys me that people like that can do such things when they should know better. That's when you know that they're an ideologue and not just some idiot in their bedroom. They're an ideologue. They know better, but they do it anyway because that's the only way to win for them. Just sharing it out to more lads because we need more of the lads. My lord, man. It seems like nothing. On the surface, it seems like nothing is changing, but things are in a weird, slow way. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, though, and it's up to us to make sure that it goes into a mostly good direction. But yeah, the fact that guy even defended Anita Sarkeesian, like, because all the people in Division 2 wear all the exact same clothes, that's Anita Sarkeesian. So he's only just tacitly admitted that actually Anita Sarkeesian did have this big, massive influence on games that gamers and her critics have been saying for years, and she wasn't just some, girl who didn't actually play games, but they're saying that she actually played games. She wasn't just this girl who just appeared and said her opinion. No, she has actual influence with massive companies like Ubisoft and Google and all these other people who make games or tech stuff. So he's admitting that. It's weird. Like, as dishonest as he was in that video, he's also very honest as well in some cases. But I don't know if that was stupidity or he did that on purpose. I personally think that was probably stupid. And do you not think that that's a bad thing, that this one ideologue, this gender ideologue, can have all this influence on an industry? Because Jack Thompson wasn't given that. He wasn't a gender ideologue, he was a she is a morality ideologue too, but he was entirely in right-wing Christian morality. Like, they wouldn't want him doing all that shit, but apparently it's okay when she does it. When it's the women we have to worry about. I just don't like the hypocrisy, guys. It's really annoying. Oh god. Anyway, you got any questions, guys? Because I need my questions. And if I don't get any questions, you got no content for the stream. I have to basically find stuff to talk about myself, and then I can exhaust it within a couple of days, in a couple of hours, maybe a couple of minutes. But there's this clip that's been going around, and it's from like the 50s, is it? Now, where was that? Where did I find that? Who posted it? I can't remember. Hang on, let me find it. Communism memo, 1943, something like that. No, it's not that. Yes, found it. Well, this is the long version. There's a 35-second clip where the guy basically goes into the American Communist Party's tactics, and it's no different to what Antifa and the social justice warriors do today. And it's something I should probably make a video on, but again, it's something we already know that they did, so, and continue to do. Nothing new there. It's just interesting that it's been going on for many years now, since the 40s and the 50s, maybe even long before that. I know I am, right? I'm such a horrible misogynist. Thing is, people just throw that word out when they mean sexist. But even then, they used the two interchangeably. So you're a misogynist but they mean sexist, and you're a sexist when they mean misogynist. It's completely meaningless. It doesn't mean anything to me. If somebody says that, I just go, yeah, right, whatever. You don't know what you're on about. Shut up. You know? It's like racist. Racist is another word that they've sucked the meaning out of and the power out of. There's a few others as well. Sexist, misogynist, racist, Nazi. But there's one in particular I think is definitely lost its power, but I can't exactly remember what it is now. My brain is blanking on me. I'm not even being sarcastic. I don't even... There's just one in particular they use a lot. I mean, I guess it's right-wing, maybe, but there's a few other things as well. And the thing is, I can see a lot of the conservatives, they're doing the same thing as well. They're using a lot of words that are going to losing their power. Like communist is probably going to lose its power eventually. I think the more we use it on these people, even though they actually are, a lot of them, but a lot of them don't know they are. They don't know that it's Marxism that they're actually spouting. They don't know that it's communism, that's where it comes from. They just consider themselves progressives or liberals, which is ridiculous because they're not liberals. They are progressives, but they're not liberals. And that's another thing, liberal, that's it, liberal. That's lost all meaning because of both sides. Because the far left have co-opted it, and the right wing, let them do it, like they always do. The right wing always let people co-opt things for better or for worse. For a group of people that are supposed to be conserving things, they do a very bad job at conserving things, which is what the other script is going to be about, guys. I'm a racist Nazi. I am indeed. I am indeed. But that's the thing, liberal now doesn't mean anything, and it's now a term that can be used by practically anybody, even though it does have a set definition that has hundreds of years of development behind it, and philosophy and everything. But thanks to Americans, no offence, thanks to Americans, it's now been reduced to that left winger over there. A communist. Because that's what they do. That's what these Americans say. So, like, in Europe it's different, and especially in Britain it's different. When you're a liberal, you're a liberal. And then you're a socialist, or you're part of the Labour Party, or whatever they are. There is a lot of overlap. But there's overlap with the Conservatives too. There's people in the Conservative Party that are more liberal or more like Labour than they are the normal part of the party. And likewise, there's people in Labour that are similar. I think they're called Blue Labour. I can't remember exactly what they're called. But there's a weird subset in Labour that are called Blue Labour. What were they again? I remember somebody I knew once said that they would be the next, like, Oswald Mosley type. No, that's not what they're going to do. So, they're a pressure group associated with the British Labour Party that advocates conservative ideas on social and international issues. Well, that's not... How's that working out, guys? It's guild socialism and... Oh my god. No wonder they're going to go nowhere. They're still socialist. That's socialist conservatives. So basically, they're from that old era of consensus politics. Even though we're in a new consensus, but in the old era consensus politics where Keynesianism was the thing. I guess that's what they are. Basically, it's what the Cook Party is now. They're the Red Tories and the Blue Labours, and they've finally found their own party. Now, even though they have these conservative ideas and reject neoliberal economics, which isn't actual liberal economics, it's neoliberal, so it's bullshit. I mean, there's actually not much of a difference between them and Labour and Conservative, really. Not anymore. Maybe there was at one point. But, the line is blurred. And they're against market economies, is it? Because they like Karl Polanyi, who was a bit of a socialist. But it's weird. It's like Aristotle and Plato together. The two don't mix. I'm sorry, they don't mix. I didn't see that V video. He makes many videos, but I've seen a few. I didn't delete your message, Midnight. I can still see your sexist, misogynist, racist Nazi, if that's the one you're talking about. I do not delete messages unless they're like spam or people repeating themselves. I like to make sure it's nice and neat. So if you say it one time, that's fine. But if you say it 4 times by accident, I will help you and I will delete 3 of them. That's what I do. I delete duplicate posts because you might not notice that you've done it, but I do. So there you go. And also spam and doxing and shit like that. I delete that shit. But other than that, say what you want. Hope that makes sense, tidying it up as in literally duplicate posts. But anyway, British politics is bullshit now, and also the terms we use are bullshit, and the left-right axis is also bullshit. Maybe I should do a video on the left-right axis. Now it's completely meaningless. Because I've noticed a lot of people on the right who I talk to are very black-pilled at the moment, and they come in a variety of flavours. So there's some who are black-pilled on everything, and they become accelerationists, like him, Bald Egg, the boiled egg guy from Australia, who we shall not talk about. Oh, a new Seth Seentouch video. I'll have to watch that in a bit. But then there's also the ones who just think it is inevitable that we will become more left-wing or more communist or whatever, There's not much we can do anymore. Fuck it. We failed. The Conservatives. Now, they're not... Well, they are Conservatives.
Hey, people.
Because they're just allowing this shit that they're against to continue. Which is why they're constantly being criticised by someone like me and Lou Levi, who are not right-wing. We're not. Even though he had this... he's had his recent political compass thing, and I did too, and I'm now completely dead in the centre, which is ludicrous. I've never considered myself a centrist. I don't even abide by the old political axis anymore, but whatever. He's not right wing either, but whatever. The political compass is bullshit. We should do away with it. It's a flawed design, because you can't be neutral on a topic. You have to pick strongly agree, slightly agree, slightly disagree, strongly disagree, which makes no sense. It makes zero sense. There are some people who have no opinion on certain topics. So why are you making them choose? Why do they have to have it's ridiculous, And also, you can tell what they think, the people who made it, when they put, like, Hitler in the top right, when it should be top left, and they put Thatcher there, even though she was an authoritarian. She was nowhere near Hitler. But she's near Hitler, which makes no sense. Nick Tassia, have you ever seen them in the same room? That's all I'm saying. No, I didn't see that. Sorry, Midnight. I did not see that. But, I mean, Jim Jesus, a lot of them are socialist. Economically at least. They are. The guy who did Christchurch, he was a Nazi, literally a Nazi, National Socialist, who was also very big into environmentalism, like Hitler was. He called himself an eco-fascist for a reason. So, I mean, literally, his logo was the most commie thing I've ever seen, apart from the racial aspect of it. But, yeah, I need to get back to where I was going. Sorry. So, yeah, it's because they're so bad at conserving, and they're not really conservatives, because they don't conserve anything. And they don't even... I swear, these people don't have a concept of, well, we can always roll back things that don't work. Right? I guess you would actually literally be called a regressive, because you're regressing something. But it's like, on the computer, right? You get a new driver update, and it ruins the program. You can always roll back your driver to something to a previous driver thing where it does work. So say 1.0 is fine, has a few bugs, but other than that it's fine. But then 1.2 completely trashes it until they fix it with a hot fix. So it would be 1.25. Well, you can always roll it back to 1.0 and continue with your program, your application, and you'll be fine until the hot fix turns up. And then you can download the hot fix, and that will fix whatever, It's like, they can't even consider that. I don't think some of them have even thought that we could do something like that for society. So we have something good, free speech, right? I mean, they kind of think about this with free speech, but everything else they don't. So we had free speech, didn't we, at one point in Britain? Now we don't. We can roll it back. We can regress the bullshit laws that we've got, which are actually regressive as well, but technically it's a horrible progression in one direction. We can go back. But apparently that's something that's alien to them. They just think we will continually regress into this direction. People, I mean, it's part of their whole, negative outlook on humanity. I don't have a particularly favourable outlook on humanity, but I know I don't think people are that bad. There are basic psychological traits that we all have, and I think it's not as bad as they make out. But I don't know. I'm not a utopian. I know that in the state of nature, if we're going to go philosophical, guys, it is dog eat dog. Doesn't necessarily mean we kill each other. Animals don't necessarily kill each other in the same species when they're asserting dominance and taking over territory. But I don't know. Spencer's pretty left-wing economically, Jim. Maybe not Taylor and Duke, but Spencer's definitely left-wing. Yeah, the whole Yang thing's bullshit. Like, they're getting frustrated, and well, the way I see it, and like I saw this YouTuber, it's like the big elephant guy. I forgot what he's called, and he basically is too impatient and too, I would say, politically immature to stand by Trump because he voted for Trump. That's his area of the Republican Party. So he's rebelling ridiculously by supporting one of the most foul leftist Democrats because for some reason he thinks that's going to get Trump to act. That's like you being a Labour supporter all your life and you get fed up with, I don't know, Corbyn if he's in power, so you vote UKIP, even though UKIP isn't that right wing technically. But okay, let's find an actual right wing party in this country. The Conservatives, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a few others. The Libertarians, fuck it, the Libertarians. There is a Libertarian party in this country. They're very small though. You vote for them instead. It doesn't make sense. How's that going to get the change you want? Like, surely you can just go and tweet at him. He'll probably respond. I don't know. There's other ways of getting your own party to respond to you. But I don't know. I think I just don't see how voting for somebody who's basically completely and utterly uneducated in economic matters, despite being a billionaire or millionaire, whatever he is somebody they should be voting for. That doesn't make sense. They shouldn't be supporting him. All that meme energy could be going to bloody their cause, but they've completely abandoned their cause. I don't know. Well, yeah. Well, non-electoral means technically we were, the way we did Brexit was kind of different because we're not a direct democracy, yet we use a direct democracy thing. The BNP's not a thing anymore, Black Lord. They went bankrupt recently, I'm pretty sure. They're not a thing anymore. And if they are, then they're not. They're a pale shadow of the pale shadow that they once were. Basically. But no, they're not a thing anymore. But that's the thing, the whole Yang thing's ridiculous. It would be like me voting for Corbyn. I would never do that. Yeah, how do they think do they think they're going to survive that? Do they think they're going to survive the societal collapse? Everybody who's in accelerations thinks they're going to survive. Just like all the communists and all the Nazis who are the foot soldiers think they're going to be the ones in charge when they'll be the first ones lined up to be shot, basically. Oh yeah, I forgot. We'll get into this a little while later, but the baby's been born, guys. The new royal baby. And apparently they chose an unusual name to represent the link between the Brits and the Americans. As if I wanted to be anywhere nearer you guys. I'm joking, halfly, but I'm only half joking. But God, the royal should be banned from marrying Americans. Every time in history, it's never ended well for them. But yeah, I think the right needs to grow some balls if they want to stop what's going on, because all I see them doing is kowtowing, giving up, losing their balls, accelerationism, and it's like no wonder people don't vote for you. They don't vote for people like you. They either vote left wing or they vote some other kind of party, maybe more centrist, I don't know. It is better being a Manc. It is indeed, Holly. God's favourite city, man. Well, I don't know about a banana republic, but I think that's more France than us, but or Germany, but not us. We're not a banana republic yet. But the thing is, what I found interesting was where I live. It's a Brexit area. Yet the MP who they probably voted for. Let me have a look. Did she survive the local elections? Local elections. Okay, who won? Of course. Why am I not surprised? Labour won. Idiots. God. Interesting. UKIP are now the second biggest party. And that's in Barton. Then we go further. There's one place that the Conservatives won. Labour, 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 Labour. An independent one. Shit. Well, that's interesting. Wow. I was expecting that. See, there's hope for me if I can be an independent and become a councillor. I don't know. Would anyone vote for me? I don't even know. Irwell, Riverside, Labour, Conservative, Labour, Labour. Sorry, I know you can't see this right now. I'm just looking. Labour, yeah. God, you know. Why? Why, guys? Why? Oh. It's like, this is what I meant by my tribalistic voting thing. This is apart from the independent guy. So one one like little tiny area where I live voted for an independent, and the rest all just voted the way they've always done. They don't think about the bigger picture. It's ridiculous. I hate that shit. We are the best, Ollie. One step up. No, son. Manchester's where the liberal tradition was carried on in the 19th century. You know, we literally were one of the cities that housed the great classical liberal tradition. We didn't invent it, but we were one of its biggest exporters. What did Birmingham do? What did London do even? Not much. We did. We were so famous that the German socialists created the term Manchesterism to try and insult us. You know, the classical liberals and everybody like that in Britain. But it became a badge of honour almost. I say it would be. I would be honoured to be a Manchesterist. I've thought about making a video about that, like bring back Manchesterism or whatever. Where's Shitrat from? He's down south somewhere. I forgot where, but he's from the south. He went to uni in Wales, but he's not Welsh. Well, let's not talk about Shitrat. But as for your statement, maybe midnight, maybe. But this is what I don't get. On the one hand, in Salford, it was mostly Brexit, but they're still voting for people who don't have that interest of theirs in mind. It's like a weird cognitive dissonance, and I don't think they're aware of it. Like, why are they voting for these people? Unless they're doing a good job, you know, on the local level, which is fine, but then again, it was local elections. So maybe these people are doing a good job, but I don't know. I personally wouldn't trust them with my local affairs. But the fact that there was an independent gain suggests that things are going to slowly change, maybe, over many, many, many years. I don't know. But these things take time. Like, people don't realise how long this is going to take. People really don't. A lot of us will be old and grey by the time any substantial change happens. That's Zoomers and Millennials, because remember, there's not much of a difference in age between a Zoomer and a Millennial, so we'll all be old and grey by the time our vision for the world happens. I think some of the older people in the free speech, anti-SJW side of things might not live to see what we want. I honestly do. Yeah, why the hell is Canadian? Why the hell is the Canadian establishment caring about that? Because even though we share the same monarch, we don't necessarily share the same, needs or something like that. Is it now? Interesting, Holly. I didn't know about that. That's something I need to look up. Because I was actually looking up my area. Oh God, how did I even? Hang on, I'm not going to tell you what my district is. But there's a way you can find out about your constituency. It's what is it now? It's is it statistics? Because I know the it's not UK crime stats. Is it a ward profile? No, it's not ward profile. Local issues. How did I? I did it on my phone, so I don't have the actual history where I can just bring this up, because there's a thing with the local government website where you can basically see the breakdown statistically of your constituency, and I found some interesting things, but I can't seem to bloody find the thing. Salford and Eccles. I don't know. Shit, I can't remember now. Let's have a look. Maybe Wikipedia has it, I don't know. Maybe it was a PDF. No, it wasn't a PDF, it was something else. No, I can't find it. Was it Democratic Dashboard? No. Well, hang on, 53%. It was definitely 60%. I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, where is it? There's like a way to find out about your constituency. I think it was a map. Hang on, I'm gonna find this. It's not the Ordnance Survey. It's not the boundaries. Maybe I'll find it. Oh, that's it. I think I found it. Is this it? No, it's a PDF. Damn it! I can't find it. Constituency breakdowns. Fuck it, I can't find it. I'll look on my phone. I'll have a look on my phone, on my history, see if I can find it. Hang on. And I'll just type it in on here, because it's really interesting. I found out that a hell of a lot of businesses in like Salford, that kind of area, they're all independent. They're all small businesses, and it's really interesting. Have you seen that test on the internet where it tells you how good it is on scamming onto drugs and crime? No, you should post that in the chat. That'd be interesting. I'd love to see that, because I don't know if anybody knows, but I've been toying with the idea of running for either councillor or MP in 2020. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. I mean, I could probably pay the sum of £500 to run. I think that's ridiculous. You have to pay to be an MP. I don't know. It's supposed to be a democracy, right? Fuck France. France deserves nothing. Let it burn. No offence to the French. Why would you support Canada's breakup? That doesn't even make sense. Canada does better together than it does apart. That's why you literally could become an economic powerhouse if you had the right prime minister, you know? Yeah, fuck France. But, alright, I need to go find this thing that I've managed to find when I was trying to look up how to be an MP. Right. Oh! Oh, no, wait, no, this is from... When was this? Was this today? Yeah, this is from today. Hang on. Let's have a look. Found it, I think. Well, I found part of it. Hang on. Constituency. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, I found it. Constituency Finder. Yeah, I found it, guys. So, here we go. Obviously, I'm not going to show you any of this shit. Here we are. By the way, my local MP is a really important member of Corbyn's inner circle. She's Rebecca Long Bailey, and she does what is she? She's shadow secretary to the Treasury, shadow chief secretary to the Treasury. No, she was. Sorry, she was. Now she's shadow secretary of state for business, energy, and industrial strategy. Oh dear. But don't worry, she's, like I said in the video, she's not quite like Corbyn, because he's very much union power. She isn't, because she voted against that, as far as I know. But I don't think I need to find out anything about her, because she's a right weird looking bird-like person. She is. Okay, this isn't the one that I remember looking at. Damn, you can go way back. You can go way back in time. But that's not what I saw in my thing. Here we are. I found it now. Yeah, Labour continually seems to do well. 2010 was shit for them, but 2015 and 2017, wow. We Are the Reality Party. What the hell? Never heard of them before. They are a safest seat. I think they're like the 253rd most safest seat, because they've got 29% average. I need to break that down somehow if I'm going to win. God knows how I'm going to break through this tribal stuff. I don't need to know about the vote. I want to know about more things. There's a way to find out like crime statistics, all sorts, but I can't seem to find that bit. This is literally general elections and it's not what I was looking for. It was something else. Sorry, I'm not having a look for the other one. Constituency. Let's have a look. Was it the dashboard that I was just on? It was constituency dashboard. Okay. Alright, I think I found what I'm looking for, guys, because you'll be surprised. So if I become MP, what would I even do? I don't even know. This is why I need a year to think about what I need to do. No, America should stay the fuck away from the UK strike team. Stay away. You've got the exact same problems that we have. You've just been bringing in more of the same. And you always mess up when you try to colonise. America has a terrible record when it comes to colonising. You don't know what you're doing. You're terrible. Don't even try. Oi, Merc. Well, she's not Chancellor. She's Shadow Chief for business and stuff. Red Pill Party. What do you think I am? Well, I am a meme lord, but I won't be that much of a meme lord. By the way, I found out UKIP Adam follows me. Which is... So wait. Holy no way! We've been following each other for ages. I didn't know that was him. Jesus. If it is who I think it is, bloody hell. He was anonymous for a while, so I didn't know that we'd followed each other for years. Damn, that's weird. So like, okay, let's see what the crime is in my area. God, would I be tough? I would be so tough. How do you search for like constituency? So national thingy. Damn. This is getting into shit that I can't even understand. Salford. No, I don't need to know about homes. Go away. Stupid bloody. This is so dumb. neighborhood analysis. August riots. That was ages ago. Let's have a look. 10 worst hotspots for bike theft. I'm telling you now, it's going to be somewhere in Manchester. No? Turns out it's all down south. Cambridge, Oxford, Peterborough area. London. Isn't that interesting? Makes sense. I don't know. I'm not gonna look at this, but it is interesting. I'm not gonna be an MEP midnight. Midnight, you don't know what an MEP does, which is nothing. They don't do anything like that, dude. That's not what they do. The MEPs don't do that. It's the commission. No, scrap the living wage, dude. Scrap it. Scrap the minimum wage laws. That gives unions the ability to just dock the system, basically. Let all their members who are skilled workers and old workers survive against more competitive younger workers who just need the training to be better than them. It's true. Read basic economics, dudes. Sowell will tell you everything you need to know. But now I would scrap all that. Because it doesn't work. It's actually incredibly unfair to young people. The problem with minimum wage is that you're forcing companies to pay wages they might not necessarily be able to pay. So if it's a really small business and it goes up every April in this country, so last month it went up, I've now get paid a bit more than I used to. And they break it down by age, so we're actually discriminating against people still, right? Even though there's a minimum wage, it's by age. So the older you are, the more you earn, or the more you're paid. Not that you earn. You could be a 16-year-old who didn't go to college or whatever. They've gone and got themselves a decent, education in terms of vocation stuff. So they've gotten themselves an apprenticeship if they can find one, because the state of apprenticeships is pretty fucking terrible in this country. They've managed to do that. They're now 21 years old, yet they're only getting paid £7.30 or something an hour, while someone like me is paid much more than that. Just because I'm 25 years old, it doesn't make sense, does it, guys? That is actually discrimination. You should be paid for what you're worth, not by your age, by some arbitrary amount, which is what it is. It's arbitrary. Who's to say that 16-year-olds have to be paid £4 an hour? Like, who decided that? Who decided that in this country? That's what 16-year-olds and under should get. Or is it 16 and above up until 18? I can't remember exactly. But why? That doesn't make sense. What if they live on their own? That's just so stupid. You can't live on that. Now that is a poverty wage. Then you get Owen Jones attacking the guy who runs Weatherspoons, who pays above the minimum wage because he can and is choosing to do so, for paying people poverty wages when he doesn't. He pays them above the poverty wage. He should be attacking the government or whoever is advising the government to pay these stupid minimum wages. It doesn't make sense. Sweden doesn't have one, and look at them. One of the highest, well, until recently, those highest standards of living in Europe. You can ask Sandre guy. Like, he can explain the Swedish wage laws better than me because he's from Sweden, and he told me this. It works. I think it's the unions. They have unions, and the companies work it out or something. I don't know. They negotiate. They compromise. So they're kind of forced to work together rather than be adversarial. And apparently it works. I think that's what he said. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. You'll have to ask him on Twitter yourself, guys. But I don't know. Yeah, it does screw him over. He's 17. He's probably not well educated. He's probably working a service sector job. It's fine if you're a student, because you also get student finance on top of that. But if you don't go to uni and you're being paid £4 or £5 an hour, and yet I'm being paid much more than that, and I can barely make ends meet, it's ridiculous. And another thing, a lot of the jobs nowadays, like, I can go on Indeed and go jobs Manchester, and it will say most jobs are full time, but most jobs where most people work are part time. So we talk about retail, sales, just tertiary industry, right? They're all part time, apart from the supervisor roles, for the most part, and the managerial roles, which are all or mostly full time. It's the specialist jobs or the more white collar jobs that are kind of hard to get into anyway. Ridiculously enough, people expect you to, mainly due to all the wage laws, they expect you to have at least 1 or 2 years experience in this field, because they can't risk bringing in somebody who's younger and less experienced, because it might cost them. Because the minimum wage laws destroy loads of companies because they can't afford to pay people's wages, so they go bankrupt, basically. I think that's how I'm interpreting basic economics. I might be wrong, but yeah, get rid of it, or if we don't get rid of it, just give everybody one wage to rule them all. Okay. I thought the file left with equal pay, right? Then how come we discriminate based on age and none of them care about that? Because I've talked to people, we all disagree with it. Everybody disagrees with it. Everybody I've ever talked to disagrees with it, right? Like, we don't understand why I'm paid more than some 16-year-old who's just doing the same work as me. It doesn't make sense. I guess it's there to help companies survive, but again, it makes no sense. I don't get it. Am I wrong? So if I was Prime Minister, I would do away with that. I'd probably end up losing things. I think people get so used to a minimum wage now that to tell them in simple terms how it would be better for them not to have it, especially for the young, I would probably not win the election. But I don't know, somebody's got to do it. No, Owen used to defend the gammon. Owen Jones used to defend gammons, but back then they were called chavs. And apparently chav is a bad word, because that's what his book is about, the demonisation of the white working class. His first book was about that. And now he seems to have sold them down the river. But then again, as my mother always said, he wasn't really passionate about it. It wasn't really about that for him. It was about the fame and to become the next talking head, the next figurehead in the media. It was all about the money for him, or whatever ulterior motive he had behind that. It was just the most in vogue thing to talk about for a while, I guess. But people have forgotten about that. Me dating models is a human right. Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri for president. Fuck it, why not? Frosted tips is mandatory for all Americans over the age of 25. Well, they're not a culture, Midnight. Chav is just an epithet that you use for a white working class or white underclass person. It's not a culture. Just like rednecks don't actually exist, they're just the working class or the underclass. It's just a word that we use to describe these people who have always existed. It's just the deserving and undeserving poor thing, right? That's what it is. And there are some people who are considered chavs, who don't work for a living and scrounge off the state, and to them I say you should starve. We should not be. I don't see why I should have to pay taxes and national insurance to pay for these people. I say, if we catch these people, you take them off benefits forever. They can't get them, and watch them have to scramble and get a job. But then the whole thing is about the people who really do need it, and then it's like you've got to try and discern. But that's why private investigators exist, right? That's why we can always find these people gaming the system, right? But then again, they should just reform the system so it can't be gamed. But I don't know. Just get rid of him. What? Favourite town. Well, yeah, Gopniks. Well, Gopniks are kind of different. I think Gopniks have become a culture in and of themselves, but Chavs aren't a culture. There's nothing there's nothing that makes a Chav from, well, in Newcastle films they don't call them Chavs, they call Chavas, because it's a, you know, regional differences. But there's nothing that's the same between the two. For a Manchester Chav and a Newcastle one, there's no difference. There's no difference at all. Well, there is a difference. There's no similarities. What am I saying? Like, they would probably not like each other. It's the way it works in Britain. American classism, basically. No. Britain, it's not rigid. That's the thing. It actually isn't. It hasn't been rigid since the 60s. Really. There's nothing stopping you from becoming middle class, technically. But I don't know. What about Louis? As president? Oh. I don't think he would want to be. He's one of those people who obviously would make a great president, but would never do it. Well, would he make a great president? Does he have the temperament? Because he gets passionate and angry. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of things we can get rid of. You know what? The one thing I wouldn't get rid of is the NHS. I do think there is a role for it in society. I think it's perfectly fine. I would never get rid of all social security either. I would just streamline it, make it tougher, you know. Make sure that there's more people rooting out scroungers, and we punish them so hard that you would think twice about doing it, you know. I don't know. But I guess someone will call me a social liberal, but I'm just being realistic. Like, you know, you're gonna need some form of income to buy food when you've not got a job. That's how I see it, you know. Oh, Louis. Well, I don't mean literally him, but you know. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, a lot of feminists don't realise that. Most men don't want to be leaders. You know? Like, I don't mind being in a leadership role, but would I want to be? No, I'd rather not lead a whole group of idiots. It seems like too much work, but somebody's got to do it. You know? But I don't know. How long have we been going? Really? Can't be right. 27 minutes? 52 minutes, that's right. Yeah, we've been going for an hour. I'm going to probably end it soon, guys. Just so you know. But, yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff that needs reforming. Like, I actually think that the NHS would improve immeasurably if we just, you know, started rearranging how its funding operates, and also, you know, and this is the thing, if less people came into the country every year, it would be better. And that's a statistical fact. And I think if you're not a citizen, you should pay for it. Imagine the amount of money they'd make if it was free to the point of service for citizens, but not for non-citizens. So the way you get it for free is you know, provide your service to the country and you become a citizen. Citizenship, you know. Service, what is it? Service, hang on. Service, what was it? Citizenship. I forgot what it's called. I forgot the quote. Service guarantees citizenship. There you go. Obviously, if you're born into it, it's different. But, you know, your service guarantees the citizenship of you and your descendants. I think that's a fair contract. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. Reform the Whig Party. The Whig Party's dead, Strike Team. They're the Liberal Party now. They're the Liberal Democrats. That's what they are now. They're dead. The Know Nothing Party. that maybe in America. They don't, Strike Team. They don't. That's why we need to end it. And I say that as, you know, a descendant of Commonwealth immigrants. You know? But it's different when it's the Commonwealth. You know? I don't know. Actually, not a lot of them came over here as well. Because I was reading, you know, Strange Death of Europe, and it's like tens of thousands is nothing. The country could handle that, and they were all culturally similar and assimilated for the most part, and contributed to society. It's when things become into the hundreds of thousands and millions do you have an issue, I think, but I don't know. I don't think the Commonwealth immigration was an issue, in hindsight. Well, at least most of it, but in terms of numbers. Because NHS was fine back then, for the most part. It was the envy of the world at one point, so... At one point, they don't say that because they're deluded, it was at one point like that, and then obviously not anymore. But I actually think that it's not just other things that have contributed to its fall. I think in many ways there's been some intentional destruction on the part of it. I think there has been some government action that is intended to weaken it, usually by the Conservatives, but I think Labour are doing it too. I think they're also, you know, the way that they do their whole recruitment shit is suspect, and I think there definitely needs to be a shake-up at the top as well. That's how I see it, but I don't know. There's a book that I want to by some guy from Scandinavia who puts forward an interesting argument for it, like how it can survive but not necessarily be the fucking horrible thing that it is now. I don't know exactly what it was. I'm trying to find it. It's in my wish list somewhere. So look, it's on Amazon. I'll find it. Oh, so it's not in that one. Maybe it's here. Definitely added it. Oh, maybe I didn't. Whoops. State of Medicine. David Owen. Huh? Shit, where's that book? Did I put it in economics? Sorry, I'm just trying to find this book. No. God, you can buy NHS branded stuff. God, I don't need that. I can't find the book. Shit, hang on, I'll find it. No, it's some Swedish guy or Norwegian guy. I can't remember his name. It's here somewhere. Let's have a look. Owen Shears. I'll find it. Guys. But yeah, what else is there? Well, obviously there's a free speech thing, but you know, I talk about that a lot on my channel. You guys have heard that. Here it is. Found it. Stig Abel. Maybe he is British, but with a name like that, I don't think he's a... I guess he is British, but I think he's like I think it was him, wasn't it? Was it him? No, I don't think it is him. No, it's not him. No, it's not him. No, it begins with a K. Yeah, sorry, forgot the guy. It's not him. Come on, stupid. How did I find this in the Kindle store, but I can't seem to find this on Amazon's own website? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm not gonna bother. I'm boring you guys. Yeah, you can buy it, yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's so stupid. I hate OBS. I can't believe it didn't even update the bloody Giga counters. That's for radiation, Black Lord. I don't think the NHS works with... Well, actually, they do work with radiation. Maybe they do have Giga counters. Shit. But anyway, we've been going for a while. I'm kind of struggling for things to talk about because of what I was saving for videos. But the next two videos will be out. Just so you know, this week. Stay tuned for some interesting stuff maybe this week. There might be something that I might be doing a collaboration. I don't know. It depends if circumstances beyond our control happen or not. If we find out when they happen. I'm not saying with who, because it's a surprise. You'll find out eventually. But until next time, it's been your boy. And I'll see you laters.